Hello there, and welcome to the Race Department Mini Cooper Challenge. We're here today at the first of 6 rounds, where 39 racers will battle it out over 2 races, trying to get a good head start in this championship. Alongside me today is the one and only Liam Jenkins. Hello, Liam.
Good afternoon, everybody.
And my name is James Kirk, of course. Now, to quickly abbreviate on the 2 races, both races are 25 minutes plus 1 lap, but there is a massive difference for race 2. We have a 100% reversed grid, so whoever won the last race will start in P39, with P39 starting on pole. This should make for some excellent action. And right now we are viewing the warm-up session before we go to the race. Liam, do you have any thoughts on any predictions? We have Jimmy Hughes on pole, setting a staggering time, and I think we should be looking forward to some excellent action here at one of my favourite tracks of all time, Interlagos.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, this is a touring car series, all in all, through and through. And I think with touring car series, they always produce some of the most competitive and fantastic racing that sim racing has to offer. Now, you merge that with, Mini Coopers, which are so light and nimble, and they look easy to control, but one tiny little error, and they could spear away from you, the back end flies away, and you're in the back of a tyre wall. And of course, with the 100% reverse grid, going to be extremely interesting to see how the front runners really start to try and move their way through the field, because of course it will be all for race position, so the guys in 17th and 18th can potentially battle and try and hold them up, and this is going to make the championship so much more open, and I think we could see a couple of surprises here today.
Indeed, and you're talking about the light back end. I think Interlagos especially plays very well to these strengths. We of course have the dynamic first 2 turns going down the hill, and certainly if we don't see contact there today, we will both be very surprised. But the track just seems to flow so well, and well, let's hope we don't have too many incidents, because I don't think anyone likes to see people's races ruined at any chance possible. But yeah, I think the Open Championship idea is brilliant, and you never know, people who find themselves at the back might have retired in race 1, and so you could find fast people who should have been at the back actually at the front, and that benefits them. And it all just seems absolutely fantastic for an idea, and I'm really, really looking forward to what we have in store here today.
Yeah, and there's so much suspense as well, because technically any one of these 39 drivers could win at least one race, because if they do unfortunately mess up in one of the first races, or they get in a bit of a tangle, it's not the end of the world like some of the other series. You've got a chance to start from right at the front of the field and get the best start you can, and it will really shake up. I honestly think that this could be one of the most competitive series that Race Department have ever produced.
Indeed, we're both looking forward to it. I hope you're all looking forward to it wherever you're watching from, in the evening, in the morning, wherever you are. For the warm-up session, we're going to be having a look at Thomas Foth. We're also looking at people practicing their starts. So important, the start here. If you're on the outside, then the start's essential to try and get good momentum around the outside, so you get the inside, but then you go to the outside again. The inside will obviously try to cut underneath whoever's on pole position, that being Jimmy Hughes. And yeah, I mean, we've got one name in particular who is not present here today, Bram Hengeveld, on cameras today, so thank you very much, good sir, for doing the camera duties. He's filling in at late notice, and he will be back, I believe, at round 2, hopefully. But him not being here today, possibly a game changer for everyone else. I'm not quite sure on how good he is in the minis, but given his performance in other Race Department events, he certainly, I'd imagine, would be a contender for today.
All we've got to do is look back to the Open World Championship just a couple of months ago, where he charged from the back of the field to take just an exceptional top 5 position and claim the championship. And if he can do that, this is what this mini's all about. If you start at the back after winning a race and can forward, it's all about, it's not just being pacey. There's no point in this series in being, 3 seconds quicker than everyone else, for instance, okay? And then, so you start at the front of the field, you win the race. But then if you can't do race pace and you can't fight your way through the field, and you're just relying on your race pace alone and not your kind of racing intelligence, then you're going to suffer, and it's going to be the guys in the midfield who aren't as quick, but perhaps are a bit braver, willing to take more risks, or slightly more aware, that are going to capitalise on. And that's what I think going to be the game changer here. It's not about how fast you are, it's about how consistent you are, and really just how aware you are, and how big your kind of racing intelligence is.
Indeed, so basically don't take a Roman Grosjean approach to the races, I think is the best advice we can give here. So yeah, I think if you haven't seen Graham Henschfeld's charge from the back of the field, do look it up on YouTube. It is an absolute must-watch. Lots of incidents, but so much action, and you'll get an idea of just how good that driver is, and possibly what impacts he would have made in this race. Now, we're on board, I believe, with Lee Ross, who is currently set the fastest time in the practice session of 1:55.5. Not too much to look from this, given that Jimmy Hughes is already
User entered your channel.
But yeah, basically we have a number of good times already being posted here. I'd imagine people would be wanting to focus on staying safe within the lines, because it's all good trying to push hard in the first few laps, but sometimes it does pay off just to be conservative, to keep your eyes on the track, keep your eyes around you, and make sure that you don't fall off the track, and capitalise, more importantly, on other people's mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, as well, it's very possible. You've got 39 cars flying around the Interlagos circuit. That alone is going to be a major factor, because whether you like it or not, there's going to be some sort of side-by-side action throughout the race. You're not going to be able to escape the field in one race. Well, you may be able to if you start pole, but then you're going to have to work a lot harder in the second race. And I think that with 39 cars, at some point you're going to end up in some sort of intense action. You've got to be prepared for that. You've got to be prepared to take the defensive line, to move out of the way instead of trying to hold your ground and prove that you're faster and better. Just take the higher ground, let the position go, and then go to regain it back, because if you start playing silly games here, it can cost you later on in the championship.
There are plenty of opportunities indeed, and I certainly have experience of Interlagos sim racing, racing in a BMW and Lexus touring car championship, and even with, I think it was 20 cars on the day, there were still plenty of incidents to go around, and given that we have almost double that number here, I think incidents will be inevitable. But I'd like to see some conservative driving, because as you say, there are plenty of opportunities to get back at someone who's just gone past you. And for example, the entire middle section, you've got those two sharp right-handers where you can easily outbrake someone else if they mess it up. And of course you've got the sharp left-hander right after the second left-hander. You've got the massive back curve into the straight, which you can get hopefully a massive slipstream. I'm not too sure on the physics of this game, but the slipstream should certainly help for an overtake into turn 1.
Yeah, and also coming out of turn 2 as well, that is going to be probably the most crucial overtaking point on the track. If you can get a good run coming off of the first corner complex, which behind another car, especially a Mini with as little downforce as they have, you can see the tiny rear wing poking out, doesn't really do too much for the car. But if you can get a good run off there without oversteering or losing the back end and sliding, then you can so easily just pull alongside and have a drag race into turn 3, and hopefully, providing you don't outbrake yourself, just take the inside for turn 4. But again, it's much easier said than done, and I think this could be a circuit and a car which really could separate kind of the championship contenders from the guys who are going to be sat in the mid/lower field.
Indeed. Now, if you want to get even more connected with us, then you have a couple of options. If you're not already on the Race Department website, then go there. There is a chat room live, so hello to everyone in the chat. We do see you. And if you have any burning questions in between races, or possibly during races if we have time, then all you have to do is tweet at Captain Kirk F1 with a hashtag of RDMCC. That's hashtag RDMCC with whatever question you want, and we shall hopefully try and get around to answering a couple of them.
Absolutely, so almost heading into qualifying now then, and qualifying is fairly important. You want to get the best start you can. The last thing you want is to think that, taking a look at the practice times, guys like Hughes who think they could be at the front of the field getting held up in traffic with 39 cars all having the same idea, you're going to encounter some sort of traffic along the line. So you've got to be prepared to maybe move off the line slightly, or maybe even if you are the traffic, then move off the line, because the last thing you want to do is infringe someone's lap. But I think that a good qualifying session is necessary. If you are a fast car, as I've said, and you do get halted by traffic and stuck in the midfield, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get back up because of the nature of this circuit. There's only really a few real overtaking opportunities without kind of moving on to, you know, some sort of incident.
Right, indeed. So we are now moving, excitingly, into the race itself, I believe, or the first race, I should say. I'll remind you once again, each race is 25 minutes plus 1 lap, and I believe myself and Lee got the plus 1 lap rule mistakenly on the aforementioned open wheel championship. It's definitely a wake-up call if you see the line and say, you know, I think it's fair to say that most people do not look at the time. They just want to pound in the laps, make sure that they're as far ahead as they can. But when they see that there is 1 lap to go, I would imagine all hell's going to break loose to try and get whatever positions they can, especially in the grid of 39.
Yeah, absolutely. So not long at all to go now. They're just waiting for the session to switch over. And I think for a couple of the guys up front, maybe a bit of pre-race nerves now, because this race could be the only chance they have in this 2-race stint to try and get some major points. Of course, it's 25 minutes plus 1 lap, so it's no short race by any means of the imagination. So you're going to have to work to stay at the front of the field. But if you do that and do finish at the front, you will start at the rear end of the field.
Here we go. I think we are racing. We are racing now on board with Claes Axelsen. A good start there. Oh gosh, the camera's gone off the racing action. They're all piling into the first corner. On board with Tamas Fott, who's up to second, being attacked there by the car in green. And so far, so good. It looks like all the cars. I'm not seeing much contact, and wow, that's relatively clean actually.
Now we're seeing that second corner run I was just talking about earlier. Here we go. Question is, how many guys are going to try and chance it as they go through? I think Tamas Fott may be one of them, as he looks to the inside to take the lead of the race provisionally. Can he get it done? The minnie's dragged down and sweeps it round. Great defending there by Hughes.
Great defence.
As the rest of the field sweep through now into turn 4. A couple bits of smoke. Cars going off, but nothing too extensive yet. But Tamas Fott is right on the tail of Hughes, looking to take the lead of the race. He's bringing the cavalry with him as well. And they've got to be careful. If you make a mistake, you're going to have at least 10 other minis charging past you.
It's going to be a massive pile-up if someone makes a mistake here. Coming into the first right-hander. Tamas Fott not close enough to do anything at the moment. It does seem like the front 2 runners are keeping a good gap to those behind. Tamas Fott making a slight mistake there and falling back. And you must say that one big mistake and you will definitely fall back into the clutches of the 37 other drivers ready to take your position. So we're coming around now to this massive left-hander. Jimmy Hughes, as far as we can tell, still in the lead.
Absolutely, and he's actually got a bit of a substantial gap as well, looking at it. I think after Fott's trying to overtake him, he has lost a little bit of ground that is being closed on now, and you can see almost trying to get a bit of side-by-side action there as well. But nonetheless, Hughes has done a good job in holding that manoeuvre, but as the rest of the field now come down the straight, we are going to see at least one overtaking manoeuvre, I should imagine.
There we go, we've got Fott followed by Cy Jebsen, followed by Lee Ross, I believe. We'll see whether the slipstream has any impact on these top 4 drivers. Oh, and someone's pulling off into the pits already. I'm not sure who that is. He must have suffered contact from earlier. Anyway, piling back into turn 1. Oh, and we have contact! We have contact between... Oh my goodness me, that was well held by Tamas Fott. Cy Jebsen getting extremely lucky there, trying to just outbrake him and running into the back of him. I think those two were extremely lucky to hold those 2 positions. Of course, you're going to have Lee Ross on the back now, trying to get the positions that he could have so easily capitalised on board with Cy Jebsen. And he has fallen back a bit, falling into the clutches of Lee Ross and the gaggle of cars behind him. And this is a great start, very clean as far as we're aware. Only one car pulling off into the pit after lap 1.
Ross almost for a cheeky look there, but you know, it wasn't quite going to pay off, trying to force Jebsen into an error. Jebsen's gone a little bit wide. Question is, where is Ross in relation? Is he going to go to the inside? Look at the amount of cars now.
Oh, and
there contact here, and somehow made it off. And no, is he going to take the
Oh,
inside line? No,
great
he's not. That is a brave manoeuvre. He's gone sideways though, and through he goes. I think they just may have found that one. They're still side by side.
They're still side by
Jepson
side.
doing a good job at defending at the moment.
Oh, and here we
Rosso
go.
reluctant goes up the inside once again, pushing wide.
Great
We got two
battling.
side by side manoeuvres, both using a slipstream of the cars in front. And this is crazy as we get in towards the final section of the track. Then look how close there the number 31 is. You can see, I think that's Ross has actually got in front. Finally now needs to break away and start catching Tamas spot as soon as possible and break away from that train and gaggle of cars behind, as they almost went 3 wide there as they came onto the straight, but there just wasn't enough room. We got some side-by-side action there, some pushing and shoving.
Side by side is Nuno Pinheiro and Allinson there. They're going to be trying and getting the slipstream, but if they battle with each other, look how close they are. If they get the slipstream on sorry, I think that's Allinson moving to the right, I think, along with Pinheiro going into turn 1. Ooh, no, and there's a goal though. Who's off? Oh, again, well held. I think that was Allinson, I think. Or was it Pinheiro? I'm not sure, but whoever that was, it was well held. And actually, I think, is that Pinheiro who's gotten past? Yes, Jepson down to 5th then. Allinson behind him now, attacking Pinheiro up to 4th. Ross not pulling away at the moment. However, Foth and Hughes both pulling away. Look at this, they're so close together. Such good racing at the moment. And all clean, clean side-by-side action. But as far as we can tell, nothing too race damaging at the moment. Look at this close racing, it's brilliant. However, a front pack has appeared to break away from a second pack, which you can see behind there going into view. Going in now, side Jepson. Can Allinson get past him? Oh, and he's side by side, mind you, but Jepson will have the inside line. Allinson trying to find the gap, which wasn't there. He's going to have to try again on this second tight right-hander, but no, he's not close enough. I'd imagine he's going to have to try into turn 1 if there is any chance of getting past. Behind him, if we're close now, who we got behind him? I'm not sure, but someone was... Oh no, it's Casadement. Casadement is behind these two. Allinson trying everything he can, and Casadement's off. I'm hoping that he's managed to find his way back on. Yes, he has. That's going to definitely damage his chances of grabbing the slipstream that Allinson will have on side Jepson at this time.
It's in a great view here as well then. You can see side by side Allinson has the inside line. Question is he going to make it stick? And that's a prime view there. As you can see for Casademento into turn 1, then can Allinson get the inside? He's gone very... Oh, that's great stuff there.
I think side Jepson let him through then. I mean, that was extremely tame.
You don't want to take any risks. I mean, there's still 18 minutes left.
But mind you, yeah, he did almost spin in the first 2 laps, so possibly a good idea not to do anything too bad, but...
Not going to give up though, he's looking to the outside, and that's great defending there by Allinson, forcing Jepson to the outside. Is he going to make it stick? He tries to push him, and I think he may have had to relinquish that, and Casademento's there as well. Is he going to try and get a run? No, he's not. But that was very lucky. That's what we were talking about. If you make a move, it doesn't pay off. You're going to easily lose a couple of positions just due to the nature of the racing. And you can see up front now, I think that's Ross come under pressure.
From Pinheiro.
Yeah, Pinheiro definitely all over him at the moment. Question is, will he make the move stick? That is for the final podium position, so definitely all to play for out front. But right now, Allinson has got a little bit of a train behind him, and it just keeps on growing. You can see positions all the way down to around 9th place now, kind of circulating their way behind him. But right now, he's got to be careful because Jepson, once again, will not relinquish his position without a fight. He's got to be careful, though. He's got competition. Oh, and there was a little bit of contact there. He's got to be careful because now look at that. And he's going to surely lose the inside line going into the next corner. Yes, he does. Jepson surely going to lose the position.
Casadement is side by side with Jepson. Well, this should be an easy overtake, but again, he's not got enough speed on that, which is surprising. But he will have the slipstream here. Apologies for cutting you off, by the way. Oh, and mind you, he has got a very good drive out of that corner. Is he going to be tucked up nice and neatly behind? That's what you want. He's pulling out quite early. And we'll see whether that pays him any dividends into turn 1. Allinson pulling away now. And look at this. Such good racing. But Casadement still is not side by side. You'd think the next lap he would hopefully just find a bit more slipstream.
And even though you've got 16 minutes left, time will start slowly ticking away, unfortunately. And they need to try and solve that because he's got to start searching for a manoeuvre and learning the race in line. As we said, there is Hughes just slowly there trying to build momentum, followed by Luke Walsh. Walsh really did shine, I think, for me in the Open World Championships. We'll see what he can do later on as the rest of the field come through. Got some side-by-side action there. See if the Whittle can take the position. Yeah, the Wilt looks to the inside, and no, just can't quite get it done. But it's so risky trying to do that because you will lose time. That's what's happened. And I wonder if that could be an illegal defending manoeuvre for using a bit more of the track. Nonetheless, they are still side by side, climbing up the hill. But the question is, will he be able to hold it or no? And I think no, he just can't quite get it done, and it's so tricky that you're relying on those opening two corners to get something going. If you can't do it, you've effectively got to pray for a mistake for the remainder of the lap.
As I said, it's a very flowing track. The momentum you carry is extremely important here, and it's quite simple. If you do not carry momentum through these corners, you will not have a chance at attacking into the next corner. On board now in P14 is Scott Webber with a fantastic M&M's livery, I must say. Behind him is Vernonson. And is he going to try for the outside?
Got one too deep, almost a bit of brushing.
He's got the inside now. Oh, and it's a fantastic move. He's managed to squeeze out the outside line. But now he's
Webber's coming back
himself. And
what a momentum shift that was. He's going to take the inside. He's going to need it. Gutsy.
There's no gap there.
Somehow side by side. None of them are going to get the slipstream.
That's brilliant. He made a gap for himself, but he is just behind at the moment. He's going to tuck up nice and neatly once again into the slipstream, and we shall see. They're pulling out way too early, I'd say. Keep in for it and then pull out when you are near the end of the straight. And that is exactly what Webber is doing. Can he make a late enough break into turn one? Oh, he's going for it, and Vernonson is just about holding on the outside. That's extremely good defending there from the German.
Yeah, absolutely. He's leaving no room at all for Webber, but now they've got to be careful because they also have very close company now in terms of Van Ven, I believe.
Van der Oven, yeah. Van der Oven.
They're not too far away. Back at the front, they take a look at Hughes. He's already got a substantial lead over Fott since that opening manoeuvre. Hasn't been able to make it stick. Talking, you saw it cut of them at net. Back up to Hughes up front. Just look at the gap now. Now that's exactly what he needs to do to try and keep that consistency there. You cannot begin to start making mistakes because the track will punish you, as will the train of cars behind you, because even while he's pulled away a bit of a gap, they're still lingering in the distance, and it is within touch distance. And Thomas Fott, you know, we've seen him before, very racy young man. It'll be interesting to see if he can just cling on to the back end of him and maybe just hope for something a bit later on during the race.
I think what's interesting is we didn't see this, but Pinera has got past Lee Ross, the third position, the final podium position. The two are still very close together. And if you could see there, just going up to the tight right hand now, Scott Webber was side by side once again with Vernonson. I think he was attempting to pull the same move on the German, actually, that the German pulled on him a lap earlier. And I don't think that has come off for him. No, it has not. In fact, he's fallen back behind Van der Oven. I think he's gone horribly wrong there. But nevertheless, he's in a good first position. Fourth in relative no man's land. I think it's best to keep it there. The two drivers up front want to keep things nice and clean now. Not push too hard until the final few minutes. And Allenson has got past Cy Jebsen as well for 5th and 6th position. Casselman is past Cy Jebsen as well, actually. That's just occurred, and yeah, very good racing at the moment here. I think Nick Hughes is in 8th position. That's Fanny Schmidt in 9th, and Luke Walsh rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, so very shuffled field, very spaced out compared to what we saw at the start, and as you said, it's been fairly clean. Not too many incidents going throughout the field, and the battles that we've seen have been very respectful. Not too much pushing and shoving. Now, it's been a little bit, but that's inevitable in touring car series such as this one. And with 39 cars on track, it's only to be expected. You've still got some side-by-side action going on throughout the field. This is a great view. You just see how much of a momentum you get, as I believe that's Scott Webber still trying to get back that position, and he's just not quite getting there at the moment. So as we're saying, I mean, that's kind of paid dividends to what we were talking about earlier, James, that this corner is probably the opportune moment to try and get a pass on, because going through turn one, if you overtake on the inside, you will have the outside line for turn two before swinging left, and that can cost you so much because you have to brake and let the other person through, which leaves all that momentum down that long straight where we're seeing most of the overtaking.
Exactly, so we've got Jimmy Hughes back up the front now. Fourth keeping a reasonable distance to him. Something tells me that he can give a bit more. Behind them, Canera still holding off Lee Ross, who does not seem to be getting any sort of attacking manoeuvre on him. Possibly a good idea, save it until the last few minutes of the race. We'll see. The problem with that is risking whether you do leave it too late. Obviously, it's a massive game, this of chess almost, where you've got to pick the right move for the right time without sacrificing, you know, a chance for them to strike back in the last few seconds. I can very well tell you that I was once in the podium position and I lost it on the final lap after making quite a big lunge halfway through the race. My tyres just went, and it's all about racing intelligence. As you say, I think racing intelligence is being brought up quite a lot more in motorsport in general, and focusing on that is one of my key points in a couple of articles which I'm writing at the moment. We have Robbie Rosen, of course, with supposedly low racing intelligence, not knowing where his car is, but these drivers, I think, as you say, they are all being respectful. It's a decent touring car series. There is obviously contact, but no real threatening moments. We haven't seen anyone spinning violently off track. We only saw one person turning into the pits. And who's this? This is Casa de Munt actually on side Jebsen, still battling it out. And Casa de Munt not able to get past. And side Jebsen holding up Casa de Munt is allowing, I believe, the brother actually of leading man Jimmy Hughes, Nick Hughes, to get in on the action. And here we go, Casa de Munt going around the outside again. Jebsen doing excellent defending, putting his car in all the right places, and if he can hold that for the rest of the race, then good on him, he deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely, he's fought so well to try and keep in front as well, and you just see now just how much momentum you will get getting in front, and if you can hold that inside line, there's not much you can do, because if you do keep trying to go for manoeuvres when they're not there, you're going to start to lose time, and then that's what we're seeing here, and providing you can hold that line, then you should be okay. But right now, all that Casa de Munt's going to try and focus on is Jebsen in front of him, and he's slowly gaining on him as well. This trio will not go away without a fight, it seems, and I'm sure this one's going to come down to the wire. We're over halfway now, so there's still plenty of action to come, but right now it's looking like Jebsen's going to have a bit of work on his hands.
Indeed, just behind on the second to last corner, you may have seen a little fight that was between Luke Walsh for 10th position and Andy Van Schmidt. Walsh had got past Van Schmidt, but Van Schmidt had managed to find another way past, and Luke Walsh here is trying to go up the inside again. Van Schmidt cutting across and making sure that Luke Walsh gets no opportunity to cut back on turn 2, but Luke Walsh has the better momentum because he found the better line through the corner. If you take a defensive line through turn 1, you will inevitably be slower, and it just depends on your gearing ratios then whether you can outrun them on the straight. Luke Walsh getting to the slipstream, excellent slipstreaming there. Van Schmidt seems to be later on the brakes and should hold it, or does he? No, he goes wide, and Luke Walsh maybe through here. You can't quite see it. I'd imagine the two are side by side. No, Luke Walsh has got past Van Schmidt. Brilliant move, taking advantage of the wide circle. Van Schmidt is looking for straight away back on the inside. I think it's fair to say that Van Schmidt's extremely strong in sector 2. That's where he was able to get Luke Walsh back after he overtook him the first time. And we'll see whether they can. Well, we'll see whether he can overtake him later on.
Yeah, I think Luke Walsh did it very clever there, as you saw just made him overtaken 6th. Van Schmidt actually took a bit of an off track, he went a bit too deep, and Walsh literally switched to the outside and left him barely any room to get back onto the track, so he was on the grass for as long as possible, meaning he would lose a bit of speed if he wanted to get back on the track. He would lose a bit of time, and that's very smart though. It's not dirty, it's not cheating, or
oh my
breaking
goodness, that was
and Walsh goes off, and now that may have been a bit of revenge.
I tell you what, you say these cars lose their rear ends. I have seen 3 extremely impressive saves just there. Luke Walsh, the latest of them. Van Schmidt needs to calm down. If he does another manoeuvre like that, he could end up compromising his own race. And indeed, he has ended up compromising. Who is that behind him? I'm just having a quick look on the sheet here. I believe that's DeWilt, actually. DeWilt's coming up for a run up on the inside for P10. He's not there at the moment. But you see there, that small mistake from Van Schmidt has left the door wide open for DeWilt to attack him, and now he's got to have his eyes in front of him and behind him, and that's poor driving, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, in talking of a poor driving there, I mean, Luke Walsh got a bit too deep coming out of turn 2. Here comes DeWilt, then it's a drag race into the next corner. Walsh again reluctant to give it a Fanishme, I beg your pardon. And he's got under pressure, he swoops across as Walsh has got a prime view of this though. May as well get the popcorn out because Fanishme once again goes off there, but this time manages to keep it in front of DeWilt, and very sneakily so. But DeWilt still not want to give up though, he's going to try around the outside here. This would be brave. Question is, can he make it stick? Surely he's going to lose momentum. He does a bit, of course, he will leave that hung out to dry. Swicks back in there and tries to get the inside line and the cutback. I don't think he's quite close enough there. Fanchman did a good job holding that one together. But it's very interesting. That's what we were talking about earlier, James, as well. You make a mistake and you will inevitably come under pressure and losing positions.
Exactly. I think I'm not sure whether Fanschmidt was looking for a gap which wasn't there, or whether he was just a bit late on the brakes to be able to avoid Walsh ahead of him. But we see now that Walsh has actually been able to extend his gap to Fanschmidt, simply because Fanschmidt now has to defend from DeWilt, who I'm certain will want to be looking for a top 10 position, even though, of course, the grid will be reversed for race 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and now taking back, look at this Webber battle has been going on for quite some time now, and Webber somehow staying in front at the moment, but I wonder for how long, because it's looking right now, once again, he's coming under pressure. I think Scott does seem to be a bit quicker through the second sector, but I think he may have to relinquish it going into turn 1. He's going to have to be careful. What line will he take? Question is he going to stay to the inside or no? I think he's going to try and hold the outside line to get that outside line for turn 2, and tries to swoop it round. That's a brave manoeuvre. Oh, it's just textbook stuff.
That's
there, leaving no
brilliant.
room at all.
I think what's interesting is this battle. Oh goodness me! I think Scott Webber just got a little bit tangled on the curb there, and Vernonson's right behind him. But this battle has allowed, if you see, just go through your picture there, Van der Oven actually got past both of these while they were battling. So it's, once again, battling on this circuit in these cars, not the greatest idea, and Vernonson just biding his time now. We are 4.5 minutes or so from the end of the race, or 4.5 plus 1 lap, I should say, from the end of the race. And I think people will be starting to get a little bit edgy, maybe taking a couple more risks than before, like Fanschmidt did on Walsh.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head as you take a look and just look at this battle raging on right now. It's a good train of 4 cars, and this has not let up at all, as right now he's got a great view of all the action behind him, some side-by-side things out. They can't go through one into there, surely.
They can't go through.
That's going to surely not pay off. I think it's a very sensible decision to back out of that one. Round the outside, he get. Oh, that's a good move there.
Move.
And that's where I've got some steel there to try and make that one stick and hold on to it as well. Yes, he does. So great stuff there towards the end of the race. And it's good to see they're not getting too edgy just yet. But I'm sure, you know, with a train like this, mistakes are going to come. It's going to be inevitable to not make a mistake with a train like this. Even if it's just a little twitch, it's going to happen, I think, sooner or later. It happens to everyone. As right now, looking very handy, but swings a bit too deep there, the number 8, and that's going to cost him a little bit, I think. But you've got to be careful, because if you are following a train like this, and you do start going wide, you will lose time to them, and, you know, those who have a slipstream in front, and they will start slowly crawling away.
Exactly, I think in that 4-man battle we had Yari Bernari out in front, and the 3-man battle, you just saw within less than a sector how far he was able to pull out, because those 3 cars were battling. I've seen a lot more pulling away because of battles during this one race than I think I've seen in any other championship I've either commentated or indeed played in, because I don't know, it's just the style of the cars, I guess. It's really bizarre. And oh, someone's out there, number 7. I'll get on who that was. Is that Luke Walsh? Can't be Luke Walsh, he's out. No, it's not, it's 007. I'll keep on looking into that, but yeah, on board now with, who is this?
This is the race leader. This is Tanas Fott, and he's getting right and cozy underneath the back of Hughes at the moment. And this is what he said, Foth will start to close in, and he has done that. He's got a bit, whoa, and that's the commentator's curse, a big drift through there. That's one for the highlight reel, but unfortunately not going to aid his race. But this is very interesting. Look at the gap. We said Hughes had pulled out a big gap. Look how close behind Pinheiro and the other people are. There's not too far away at all, because Ross is still very much on the tail of him. So the top 4 separated by just a couple of seconds. This race is still very much in the balance. We'll have time for approximately 2 more laps. Takes around 1 minute 54 25.6 per lap, I'd say. So we're going to have around 2 more laps, including the one at the end. So it's still plenty to pay for, especially if Foth goes for a move on cues. It doesn't quite work out. And you've got 2 very feisty young men battling over the 3rd position. There we go. And I think there's a 4th one now as well. And they can see Ross trying to go out the around the outside there of Pinaro. Question is he going to make it stick or no? Into turn 1, you can see right there, Tam Asphalt. Well, he's pushing hard though, isn't he, Foth? He's making a little mistake here and there, and that's evident in the driving style, that he's almost gone into his uber aggressive, kind of Raikkonen-esque driving style, if you will. But it's working for him, and if you can control the car and make it stylish at the same time, then why not?
Indeed. Just confirmation on the retiree, Bill Devery, the retiree there. Yeah, I think it's a shame that Tam Asphalt lost it, because he was nicely tucked up behind the race leader. And now it appears that Hughes might be able to just hold on for the rest of the race. But of course we've got this battle for the final podium position between Pinaro and Ross. It'll be extremely interesting to see how this works out, with Ross, I believe, trying to go around the outside. He slips in behind Pinaro with, I believe, the intention to go... Oh, he's going to the right. What's he doing there? He's trying to hold his line, I guess. And going, he's going to try and switch back, but Pinaro is putting his car in exactly the right position. Allinson has seemingly just left Nick Hughes and Castellamont for dead, pulling away from the battle behind him. And I'm not sure whether he's closing in so much on the top 4, I should say. But we will see anyway if these two crucially make a mistake, because we've seen already guys getting a bit leery trying to get past people for even lower position, 9th and 10th. It'll be interesting to see whether Ross and Pinaro keep conservative for the final lap now, I believe. Yes, it will be. This will be the final lap, and we'll see whether any risks are taken or whether Ross can have a go. Pinaro seems to have pulled out quite a bit though. No slipstream action for Ross into turn 1, methinks. And Allinson is just sitting there pretty. He's got 5th position all nicely wrapped up for him with a gift bow on top.
Definitely deserves it as well. And the thing is that these guys, what I've just noticed, are staying towards the lead. We said they're only a couple of seconds away. When the field gets reversed, the guys in 3rd and 4th will start in front of the guys in 1st and 2nd. Now, if they can keep with the leader, then they're going to make progress as Allinson goes through the inside.
Ross is gone.
Yeah, Ross had a bit of an off track there, and Allison's going to go
past
2.
Allinson.
Where's that come from?
Oh my goodness me! Could they ever now?
That's 3. That's going to be 3 short. I think that could definitely be a problem. Allinson is flying. He's just overtaken 3 of them in the space of 1 corner. It's going to be 4. No way!
Wow!
No way!
Look at this. And Foth falling back into the grips of Cy Jebsen. Everyone's just slowing down. I think they must have underfueled their car, pushing so hard to get in front of everyone else, and Allinson, who's just absolutely, look how far away he's gone already. And the battle between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, I don't think that will be the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th by the time we cross the line. I think we'll fall back in further.
I'm just speechless. You made a good point that Allinson was just doing his job very calm, and he was just always there, and now this has just completely changed momentum. He must have the hugest grin on his face right now. But, I mean, for Hughes as well, so now it's all that behind him. Some of the major contenders there will have to be taking note of this, because, well, Hughes has managed to luckily escape the claws of Tam Asphalt. Going to the next race, he's still going to have a very hungry Allinson just behind him.
And look at these cars. We've got traffic slowing down as well. And I believe someone's actually stopped there on the hill. Wow. It just goes to show how important fuel is. And so, with a fantastic race victory from 5th position to 1st on the final lap, Mr.
I think
Allinson,
what it could
well
be,
done.
they think the race is 25 minutes, and if they've slowed down, then that could be a key. If they've actually slowed down, thinking the race is 25 minutes, it says 25 minutes plus 1 lap. So they may have underfueled, or they may actually think the race is finished, it's just a 25-minute sprint. So Allison's been clever.
Hold on.
I think you guys just have done the most excellent outlap ever. I think the race was already finished a lap ago.
You have got to, that was not 25 laps plus 1.
Nope.
Wow. Okay, so there we go.
So the format's been told
completely
wrong.
messed up there. We got that all wrong. Jimmy
No, the
Hughes
forward,
has
the forward
actually won.
was okay. Was not your mistake. I think they just ran
Yeah.
out of time 1 lap early.
One
But,
lap. So there we go. A mistake with the whole system means that your winner is Jimmy Hughes, not Allinson.
A checkered flag would help, I think.
A checkered flag would help. So yeah, apologies for that, folks. Jimmy Hughes is your winner. He did manage to hold on to first, with Thomas Foth in second, Pinero in third, Lee Ross in fourth. Allinson does hold fifth, but he should still be very happy with fifth because he did hold that very well. Nick Hughes is in sixth with Casterman in seventh. Cy Jebson holds on to eighth, and Walsh does manage to get into ninth with, who is that in 10th? That's Mark Gormley. I don't know where he came from, but look at this. I think Franz Schmidt had a bit of a mare somewhere else because he's fallen back to 12th. And so there we go. After a race with lots of action and a massive mistake at the end, we have Jim Hughes starting on P39. I think that's, you've got to have a bad mentality state given that you've just won a race and then you have to start to the back, surely, Liam.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure I think he's going to get some of the guys a bit pumped up. You think they could have finished a bit higher than they did. They want to try and rectify that in race 2 and just climb as many positions as possible. This is now an opportunity for the slower guys in the field to really make a name for themselves and get some big points on the board. But also to maybe try and see how the big boys try and push their way through the field and who finishes the highest. If we can see one of these in the top 10 out of 39 drivers, I think that could easily be a driver of the day there.
Absolutely. I think keep your eyes on Jimmy Hughes, Foth and Pinero, Ross, Allinson, those top 5. Have us look. And so who do we have on pole position? I believe I saw Kuthil on pole position. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. Just to remind you, we have a completely reverse grid. 100%, there's no final top 8 reverse, not 10 reverse. P39 will start on pole. And so we do have indeed Kuthil on pole position. I wonder who we can see who's on second. I'm not sure entirely. But there we go. Kuthil on pole. And this will be very interesting as we are live. And we are off. Quite a slow start, I think, from Kuthil there. And everyone getting off seemingly to a good start. There's lots of position changes down the field.
We're going into turn 1 then. And he
Kuthil holds it nicely. Yeah.
Let's take a good panoramic view because I think there very well could be a couple of cars going a tad wide here, but Sunhole going through very orderly. Very respectful stuff there. Now this is where the action's going to occur. We've got a car in the wall. And when's he going to rejoin? And and just about not connecting anyone. So very good stuff there back at the front. Luckily no moves going on yet. I think that's very calm and collected. Emma Kuthil at the front. He's done a good job of holding that lead.
Indeed.
So, I mean, if you look through the rest of the field, all snaking behind, and
going
little
wide.
chain reaction if the car's going wide there. So I don't think it could be too long before the big boys start pushing their way through. We have got some side-by-side action for P6, I believe, as they all flow up the hill now.
So here we go, going down the order. We've got Kuthil in first, we've got Bijal in second, Devery, who remember retired last race, in third. I'm not choosing fourth, but we have Axelson going down to sixth. I believe that's Stephenson who's gone up into fifth. Antonio in seventh. And looking ahead, Kuthil has just flown away, I believe. It was a very good start. But we have had a couple of test races, it must be said. The front runners from the last race, in those test races, in the previous race, one of the last races, found themselves in quite a few incidents, eager to get back past. And it will be definitely interesting to see whether we do get any of those incidents in race 2. We don't know whether it's going to be 25 minutes plus 1 lap because of what happened last race, but whatever happens will happen. And someone's gone off there, I'm not quite sure who has, but that has made a massive difference. I believe that might have been Antonio going off. Someone falling down the order there.
Yeah, and he's getting ready for the field to cross the line, and through goes Kirk. And he's had a great start, doesn't he? He said he's just held that line well. and pulled away, and that's what you need, and that's exactly what Hughes did last time round. We could be seeing another textbook kind of race here for him as the rest of the field flow into turn 1. Oh, there's immediate contact there, and another save. These guys
That
really
is
are,
absolutely
their
incredible.
reactions are on fire today.
Either that, the car's extremely, really good to handle and to keep under control. I'm surprised by the number of incredible saves that we've seen today. You never know, it could be that tiny spoiler which you so easily criticised earlier. It is doing something, Liam. It is doing something. It's saving these drivers from destruction. And on board, or I think we're looking now at the battle between, that is definitely Ken Hunter in the distinctive South African livery, and Norman Bruce ahead of him. The Scottish driver holding his line on the outside there. Apologies for cutting you off, you're about to say something. And look, we've got another gaggle of 4 cars. I'm not sure who's going up on Hunter. Oh, very close to contact there. I believe that's Van der Oven, who's already gotten himself up to 9th, with Dave Begley close behind him. It's going to be very interesting to see how this battle pans out indeed.
Yeah, Begley's going to be just wanting to try and capitalise now. That's what you want to do.
Van der Oven's just gone past Hunter there. Very nice manoeuvre, very clean. And Dave Begley's going to be the next man looking to knock Hunter off his perch, him down to P10.
Yeah, absolutely. So another lap done and ticked off the record to go on to another 21 minutes left then before we hit the final lap. And right now it's still looking very good out the front for Kuthro, as he's just had a great, and look at the field there, you can see some more side-by-side action, and almost 3 wide, trying to pull off a Schumacher/Hakkinen move.
That's one of the Hughes brothers.
Middle.
That's one of the Hughes brothers there. I'm not sure whether it's Nick or Jimmy. But where is he there? He's up to 18.
I think that's both of them are there. Yeah, both of them are there. Nick and Jimmy, I believe. You can see them both trying to get a slipstream off each other. Now that's helping them a lot. I think you can see them up the inside. They're almost 3 wide into the corner. That's never going to work, surely. And somehow
Allinson was what a fantastic defensive move there, holding off on the Hughes brothers. And who is that there? That's Lee Ross getting in the action. So these were the front runners from last race. And look at how far up the order they are already. Allinson in 17th. One of the Hughes brothers, I'll go and find out for you which one, making a move, and Allinson holding on well. We've got Luke Walsh ahead of him, but maybe not for long, yeah.
Allinson's gone up the inside, and it's a good move there. And now look, we've got some more side-by-side action just in front of them as well. So there's a huge gaggle of cars all flying through. Almost a bit of contact, got to be careful. But Allinson, of course, the star of the non-existent lap last race, has definitely looked to continue that trend as he looks almost round the outside, and that's going to be a bit risky. But I think quite paid off there.
Now, if you want to keep an eye on the Hughes brothers, number 25 is Nick. Number 24 is Jimmy, last race winner. Allinson seems to have gotten past, oh goodness me, cutting the corner there. Getting past Ven, I believe that was. And you've also got Van Schmidt in the action there as well. So, what's that, 6 or 7 cars there, all bundling into this penultimate corner. I'm surprised that none of them have been punted off again. And Allinson moving his way up the field very nicely. P15 at the moment.
Yeah, and I wonder how long it'll be before they hit the top 10, because they're definitely pushing at the moment. You can see Van there currently P16, shortly behind Allinson, trying to find something. Down the main straight will be the best opportunity for a slipstream now as Allinson goes defensive on the inside. But Kuthel, I think this will be great to see him win as well. After, I think this is a big point as well. After having a bad race one, to finish last and then get a win, it's got to be such a good feeling. And this does boost him with confidence, knowing he can hold this lead. It's a very big lead as well, as you can see. He's already pulled out a substantial gap over Derry in second, so he's done a very good job there, I think, Kuthel, so far in the first half of the race.
I believe Kuthel is the guy who first retired, the guy who I noticed was pulling off into the pits on lap 1. Kuthel was that man, because you see Devery behind you. He started behind Kuthel, so he didn't even finish race 1, and yet he's absolutely flying away.
I wonder if this could be significant of his pace if he had stayed in the race. He may have got a bit better in race 1, but I'm sure he won't find that right where he is at the moment. You can see the rest of the field. This is for 3rd and 4th, and the rest of them as they'll fly through. This is so tense right now, and there's just so many of them, and how none of them have made substantial contact yet is beyond me. Some very professional and clean racing here tonight.
Just noticing Allinson up to P12. His next man is Ken Hunter, who's fallen back to P11 after being passed by Begley, Bruce, and goodness me, Hall Nelson. That's Christopher Hall Nelson rounding up P10. Place Axelson in 6th. Bijel falling back to P7. Stephenson in 5th. Van der Oven in 4th. What a fantastic race by him. Mike Bishop is currently P3, and as we've said before, Devery holding off a nice 2nd place with Cooper way out in front. And now we've got Allinson moving up on the inside of Ken Hunter. I believe he's got him already, and he's up to P11, knocking on the door of the top 10 after starting from what would have been P34 in this race. An absolutely fantastic drive from Allinson.
Yeah, definitely impressed throughout this one. He's going to look to try and impress us even more. Up the inside of turn 1 he goes. Just unrelenting speed there by Allinson, and you see a car dive into the pit lane. So side by side here and trying to take as much track as possible.
Breaks into the top 10, getting past Hall Nelson. This is so impressive. His next target up the road is Norman Bruce. He has got a bit more of a gap to bridge before he gets there, but it just shows how much a good race and a good pace, and more importantly, racing intelligence, knowing when to go for those moves, will pay you dividends.
Yeah, indeed they will. You can see there. Number 37 is looping out of the 16 to try and get some clean air. As Allinson just tries to break away and maybe even further up the field, and off goes.
Nelson.
Yeah, Nils on the background. That's not good for him. Question is though, now he's gone off there, he's going to be breathed right down the neck of that group of cars.
Walsh.
Here on the recovery, Luke Walsh going to try and make a move. Of course, the number 7. Saw him in race 1.
Van Schmidt's in there as well. Watch out.
Yeah, we saw these two last race, and unfortunately, I think Luke had a bit of a tap there, unfortunately, with Van Schmidt after a bit of an eager move, I think, to say the least, on Luke's part. But well, hopefully there'll be no battle between them in this race, and Walsh gets scarily close there as he tries to bring a couple of positions back. But nonetheless, Walsh is currently in fault, so he's roughly started in the midfield anyway. Looks like that's very risky there, and that is daredevil stuff.
Great move.
And that'll be on for the highlight reel indeed. And now you can see Van Schmidt trying to follow in his footsteps. Maybe anything you can do, I can do better sort of scenario. Looks to the inside, trying to do a move off the same stuff. And I don't think he's got it done. Yes, he has. So these two definitely driving it all at the moment, leaving it all out on racetrack. Now let's see if they can pull that move on each other, because look what happened last time.
Indeed. Back at the front, Van der Oven's gone past Mike Bishop. He's now up into P3. Begley is up into P5. He'll be thrilled with that, with Stephenson in P6. Bruce up to P7, and Axelson has had a bit of a problem somewhere along the road. Actually, no, he's not. He's fighting it out with Norman Bruce, I believe, for P7 and 8, with Bijel falling back down to 9th. You must wonder how long it'll before Allinson catches up with Bijel.
Yeah, absolutely. So, quickly looking back through the field, you see there, I still think right now Kuthral has driven a fantastic first half of the race, 14 minutes to go, and he's pretty much been untouched out front at the moment. Devery's been there, doing a good job, and you can see Bishop there currently in 4th, trying to pull away from that pack just behind him. Of course, it's going to be very, very hard to do so, because quite unrelenting. You can see Begley will be hungry though, won't he, to try and get a position. He's going under pressure now though, tries to swoop it round the outside, and he's done a very good job there as well. So, very well held there by Begley. The question is for how long, because he is looking like he's coming under some substantial pressure at the moment.
Oh, and look at this, look behind there. Ooh. After that tap, I mean, just look behind you. Allinson's moved up to P7. I don't know how on earth he's done that in the time that we've just gone away from him. But he's storming through the field. He's like a charging cavalry. And I believe it might be something to do with these battling cars, which we saw in race 1. Battling will not do you any favours whatsoever, and will allow cars such as Allinson to pull back up. And I think I'm going to make a quick... Well, actually no, let's not. Commentator's curse is a terrible thing. I can see Allinson moving forward even further.
Indeed, and it's been a very tense race to say the least, and I think that in terms of Kutral's pace, if he can kind of repeat this in the first one, now I think if the guys may, if they're having a bad race, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. Hopefully we don't see this, but if they do get into an incident, maybe intentionally or just try and finish last, and you get a good start for the second race, it can boost your championship position, because you're almost one, you don't do anything too silly, get a few points boosts in terms of what you would have got overall if you'd started midfield in race 1 and 2. But just taking it through the field there as well, I know you said Allinson up in P7. We said a top 10 from starting where he did would be pretty impressive.
Keep in mind, he started in P34, Allinson. P34 up to P7. That's almost like a Brown Henschfeld style drive, and I think we should definitely keep an eye on this one, Liam, because he's pulled out a very impressive drive here in race 2.
Indeed he has. He's just been utterly fantastic at the moment, and possibly a contender for a Driver of the Day award. Let's see what he can do during the second half of the race, and you can see that rest of the field just behind him at the moment. Allinson's kind of in no man's land, just like it was in the first race, just doing his job, keeping it clean, and there you can see, wonder where Luke Walsh is, because there's Van Schmidt. Where's Luke Walsh gone?
Luke Walsh has definitely disappeared off. Uh-oh, I think he might have had a problem with Van Schmidt.
I was going to say, I mean, they're still dueling away.
And here we go, we've got Jimmy Hughes up here. I think that's Jimmy Hughes in P12 at the moment. Ahead of him is Pinero, who of course secured P3 last race. Up ahead of him is Van Schmidt with Bijol, who's fallen back into the grasp with these front runners. I imagine him going downhill very quickly, very soon, with 11.5 minutes to go. And indeed, Van Schmidt does get past Bijol, who falls down to P10. Next up is Pinero, who after him will be looking. Oh, he's up at the end. He's up already, and Jimmy Hughes has got to be careful as well.
Here comes Hughes then. Look, we've got to be. He's got to be inside of both of them.
Inside. Goodness me, what's he trying to do? And Jimmy Hughes might just have overtaken both of them. He's definitely overtaken Pinero, and he's going to be side by side with Van Schmidt going into the first corner. Oh no, he's not. I think Jimmy Hughes has just gone past him. And given that he can hold his defensive line extremely well, we're going to have a massive battle between Van Schmidt and Hughes. Van Schmidt goes out to the left, and he falls. Oh my goodness me, that was. It looks like he lost control of the car there for a bit. But thankfully holding it on, thankfully not causing an incident. And Pinero and Hughes slip past. Bijol falling back into the grasps of who's that? I've got so many names I can't remember. It's someone, at least that's someone gone past him. Oh wait, oh no, that's Tamas Foth. Yep, that's Tamas Foth who's just gone past as well. Tamas Foth's going to look on the inside of Van Schmidt. He gets past as well. And the front runners from last race moving their way up the field slowly but surely. One name which is absent though, I believe, Lee Ross. Where's he popped off to?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's definitely in a kind of factor in the first half of this race. So there is Luke Walsh, the man of the mystery, if you will. He's a bit further down than he would have liked, I think, though. For now, I think he's currently way down the order.
Remember, we only have up to P22 on this one. Vernon is currently occupying that position. We'll definitely give you a bit more info if we can find out about it though. Here he goes. Oh, hold on, whoa. Change up front. This is Van der Oven. He's gotten past Devery and he's moving on to Kuthil. Kuthil's had a relatively easy race so far, but now he will have Van der Oven right up his chuff very soon.
The question is, so how long will it be? He's only got 9 minutes left, so roughly 6 laps of racing. So it's going to be very, very close to see. He's going to need to start chipping away at that gap sooner rather than later. And there is a bit of traffic in the way as well. I wonder if that's going to play any sort of issue. But he's really going to start not overdriving the car, but definitely trying to force something better. As you see Begley going up the inside of Allinson. Is he going to make it stick? No, he's not. He almost had it. But very well held on there by Allinson.
Indeed, and just checking there, the traffic there was Remco de Wilt. He must have had a nightmare somewhere along the track to be lapped already. But yeah, Allinson under pressure now. He wasn't under pressure before, but Begley is hungry for points, and he will be chomping into that position. And nom nom nom, away he goes up into 6th position. But Allinson is straight back through. You cannot let your guard down. You cannot let your guard down. And Allinson, he's got the momentum now. He's moving up on, I believe, Stephenson and Bishop. Unless he's a lap past, I don't think they are. And look how slow they're going. Allinson trying to get up the inside. And I think he will just get Stephenson for this corner. No, he can't join. No, he wouldn't take Mike Bishop. And Allinson up into P5. Surely it's only a matter of time before he gets past Bishop. He's looking around the inside. No. he doesn't want to punt him round, otherwise he'd have no friends at all in the paddock. But he's clearly faster than him, and well, might he be able to catch up to Devery? I'm not sure. There he is, just up the road. Stephenson looking for, oh goodness me, trying to look for a way back through. He's not going to find it on this lap. But coming around the penultimate corner, we now have a good slipstream for Allinson, a good slipstream for Stephenson, a good slipstream for Begley, and a good slipstream for Claes Axelsson there, who's hung on in there. He's going to be trying to get as many points as he can. Allinson's going to move to the outside, not taking his slipstream option, and I'd imagine he'd be trying to stay safe rather than attack at the moment.
A question is now though, as he looks to go to the inside, and look at that, he's just not moving out of the way. Allinson forced around the outside to try and get this done, and he's going to go for it. And he was very
outside.
Not sure quite how much he got that momentum without spearing off the racetrack, but very good there. Now look at Stevenson trying to also pull off the same manoeuvre on Bishop, who played it very, very gently there. But Allinson is going to have a great view of this, and as Bishop once again moves on the defensive. This time Begley and Stevenson both come careering up towards him. They can't go through there, surely. They'll surely go two, as Begley will look up the inside. The question is, will he be able to make that one stick as Allinson now tries to pull away? Begley still side by side with Stevenson as he tries to scavenge the top five there. It'd be great for him, and it's still side by side.
And look at the three behind there. Claes Axelsson has fallen back into the grips of Pinero, and I believe Jimmy Hughes as well. So Jimmy Hughes, race winner from race 1, and Pinero, who secured P3, into the top 10 now. On board now with Bill Devery in the infamous 007 car. Seems to be having a good race so far. Van Noven is definitely catching up with Kuthil. The gap is slowly coming down, and with 5 minutes to go, you must think that surely there must be a chance for Van Noven to cause a massive upset here. For the person who has had a perfect race so far, he's had nothing to worry about.
Indeed, I think he's really just kind of breezed away from the pack, and it's almost just been like a quali session.
Sorry for going down and that in there. Sorry, Jimmy Hughes has gone past Axelsson, and Pinero will have a quick run up the back straight as well. Look at this gaggle of cars. You've got 6 cars here battling for position. Variety of them clambering into the corner. Thankfully, no one going off there either. And it must be said, not as many incidents as I was expecting, actually.
Yeah, I think we're thinking of the nature of this kind of mini challenge. You've got 39 minis going around one of the most infamous and tightest circuits in Brazil, and it's just inevitable. You almost kind of immediately assume there's going to be contact and cars flying off, and there really hasn't been that today. But rather than that, we've seen group racing with up to 6 or 7 cars all dueling away side by side, cleanly organising themselves very nicely, and in turn producing some of the most competitive racing we've seen in a while. And now I think Kuthil is going to want the opposite of that. He wants a lonely race because he's slowly being reeled in.
Van der Hoeven, he wants that win for certain. And Kuthil, I will feel so sorry for him if he loses it in these final few laps. He absolutely deserves this win. And I know commentators shouldn't have biases, but I think it'd be absolutely brilliant for him. He's genuinely got a good speed for at least the midfield pack, and to retire in race 1, never a good thing. You know, he dents your confidence, especially on the early stages. I think it was lap 1 that he retired in race 1. But nevertheless, as much as we could plead, Van der Hoeven is absolutely belting up behind him, and he will definitely get a speed boost out of the slipstream as we go into the final 4 minutes of this race.
Indeed we will. The question is he going to get a run through here? This should be, theoretically, 2 more laps, I believe. Or maybe 3 at a push. But right now, Kuthil wants just 1 more, because I don't think he can hang on for much longer. It's still going to be about defending right now then. Here comes Van der Hoeven. Will he make a move now? He can't risk it yet. He's got too much to lose. He moves to the inside though. Relentlessly wants his position signed, still delivered sooner rather than later. Kuthil touches him! And they're still squeezing each other, and he's got it done!
Van der Hoeven has got it. Well done, sir, for getting past there, but Kuthil's going to be mad. He's going to want to get this slipstream as best he can. He defended as best he could, but Van der Hoeven squeezing through the gap which was available. It's these small mistakes Kuthil he made it, and it's such a shame that it has happened. But I feel that Van Hooven may have this race in the bag now. But Kutel's, mind you, he's really attacking now. He's going as late on the brakes as he dares to try and get that position back.
Yeah, and he's going to try up the inside. Is he going to get it done? He's not going to have enough momentum, I don't think. He's still going to try and hug that apex as tight as he can. And will he get enough? No, he won't.
He
and he almost got it.
He's hungry. He's definitely hungry. Devry behind them, quite a way behind. I don't think he's going to be battling for the top two here. But behind Devery, we've got the rampaging Allinson looking for a podium position. He wanted the fake win that we gave him last round. But a podium will do very nicely for him. A third and fifth position out of two races, especially considering the reverse grid, will be a fantastic result. And I do believe that may actually put him in first position. I'm not too sure on the point system at the moment. But with 2 laps to go, it might be a bit of a stretch, I feel.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to have enough momentum. But I mean, we've already seen how quickly those gaps can come down. All you've got to do is take your current leader, Van der Oven. Oh, he's doing a fantastic job as well. But the thing is, I mean, if Allinson can do the same, all it takes is a couple of laps of good slipstream, and this is far from over though. Kutel reluctant. I mean, if he can salvage a victory by overtaking the inside. Oh, and he may have gone too deep though. He may have gone too deep, and I think he has done.
Oh,
yeah, he's gone spearing off.
Oh,
I thought that was a late manoeuvre. He's come back on, but he's lost all that time.
Apologies, it's Van Oven. I've been saying it wrong for race 2. Apologies. It's Van Oven, and I think Van Oven will probably have secured this race. Kutel going for a do-or-die manoeuvre, and unfortunately he died. Which is such a shame. Allinson is definitely closing on Debris, though. You can see the gap has come down, but I'm not sure. I think we are going to be running to the line now. I believe this may be the final lap, and if so, then Allinson may not be able to take P3. Another lap and maybe, but I doubt we will have that chance. Begley currently in P5, Stephenson P6 behind them. Massive battle between Pinero's gone past through Hughes, and oh my goodness me, Debris spun! Debris has spun! And Allinson's up into P3, he's got a podium. Dave Begley up to P4, Stephenson P5, Pinero P6, Hughes up into 7, Axon 8, Bishop in 9th, I believe. I'm not sure
he's killed the engine.
He's killed it. Oh, what a shame. Oh. He's going to be kicking himself. New Zealander is going to be kicking himself.
Right in the dying moments.
Oh, what that's... Oh. Oh, God.
Let's find out if there is an extra lap though first, because...
Let's not make the same mistake as last time, as Van Oven, I think, thoroughly deserved. I think he's definitely done a good job battling from the midfield pack to get up into first position. Midfield very well come down into second. Allinson third, and Van Oven crosses the line, and I believe that may be it. I'm not sure. Kutel, it would be in second, Allinson in third, Begley fourth. Stephenson comes on line in fifth, and look at this. Look at these 3 train of cars coming across the line now. Are they still going? I believe they are still going. I believe they are still going, because he's definitely going full out there.
So it's changed twice.
It's changed twice. So yeah. So yeah, this is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Or is it? I'm not entirely sure, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I think it is the final lap. I believe it is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. So we still have Kutel in, or is he? I don't know. A checkered flag would be useful. Bram Henschfeld, the checkered flag would be useful. If this is the final lap though, Kutel is catching up to Van der Oven. No, this is definitely not the final lap, because I saw Stephenson there in 4th and he is in 5th. So yeah, final results: Van Oven in P1, Kutel P2, Allinson, driver of the day, in P3. Absolutely excellent. Stephenson P5, Pinero and Jimmy Hughes, excellent job to go up into P6 and 7, with Axelson taking 8th, Mike Bishop taking 9th, and Gormley taking 10th. Once again, silently going about his business, getting 2 10th positions in the 2 races today. Excellent job from him too.
Yeah, I think I was just going to ask you who driver of the day was there, but he kind of
Yeah.
answered. I don't think there's any other contender really. Allinson, you know, drove a fantastic race 1 to come back from race 2, start from way down the order, and still somehow grab a podium. It's just, I think that was beyond even maybe his own imagination. I think he could have expected that one, but just utterly incredible. And I just think he just deserves every bit of appraisal he gets.
Commiserations though to poor Devery. I mean, to have your engine blow up on the last lap. Oh, I can't imagine that because that's never happened to me. I'm pretty sure that my my teammate would certainly know what that feels like, running out of fuel instead of the engine blowing up. But that's another story for another day. And so, well done to Van Oven for a fantastic race victory coming from the midfield to take the race win away from Kuthil, who did extremely well to hold on to P2. And well, what a fantastic night entertainment of racing. And the best thing about it, Liam, is that we've got 5 more races to go.
Absolutely, so an absolute crammed schedule full of action, and I think as well, I mean, what's I think race of Dave Begley as well to pick up 4th position. He drove a fantastic race. We are getting some guys now in for interview, so I think we should start off with our driver of the day as they all come flooding into TeamSpeak.
Where are we all gone to?
I think we'll take us off with a race winner then. I think so. Obviously, if we've got Frankie with us.
Hello,
yeah,
Rob.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Bram.
Hello, Frank.
Hello.
Okay, so Frank, hello to everyone as well. Frank, you came from, I believe, the midfield to take a race victory today. How hard was it to get past Kuthil, honestly?
Past who?
Kuthil.
Oh, it was not that hard, to be honest. I think I braked him soon I got behind him, right?
Indeed you did. Indeed you did. And I think the race victory, of course, extremely prestigious. You now go into the next round with the race win. Are you feeling confident for round 2, or are you still feeling a bit hesitant, just trying to do what you can do and see how the race pans out?
Well, it's the first time I'm ever sim racing, so...
oh, wow.
I really need to get used to it, and some of the guys here are really fast. I just had the luck that they are starting at the back and I was starting at 25th and could take over everyone.
Yeah, so there we go. Once again, we see the brilliance of the Open Championship with the front runners starting from the back. I tell you what, talking of front runners starting from the back, driver of the day, myself and Liam unanimous on this, Mr. Dan Allinson, a P5 in race 1, impressive. Coming from P34 to a podium position in race 2, unbelievable. I'm not sure, but I think you are now in the lead of the championship. How on earth do you feel after that drive?
Do you know what? That was absolutely cracking. I had the most fun I've ever had. That was unbelievable. We had a pre-season event the other week, and I just didn't get the chance to come through from the back of the pack. I just loved every minute of that today. It really was fun.
You know, you absolutely deserve it. I imagine that you're now brimming with confidence for round 2. Hopefully, we'll see you as a championship contender, maybe?
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, really, to be honest. I've actually got arm pump in my arms from my wheel. It's that bad.
Goodness me, I mean, I must admit, I dread endurance events because, well, I mean, to keep your concentration for so long, it must be extremely hard. But again, well done to you, sir, for an absolutely cracking race 2. And do you have race 1 with it? Do we have any of the Hughes? No, we don't. Let's go for Nuno Pinheiro. P3 in race 1. You got up into the top 10 once again in race 2. An excellent drive from you in both those races there. Are you confident going into round 2, or are you going to try and stay calm, try and do your job and see how it goes?
He's just gone muted.
He's just gone muted. He doesn't want He's
I don't want to talk to you, James.
You're the old... Oh, brilliant. All right. So, well, actually, no, let's talk to Dave Begley because you had an extremely good P2. No, not P2. Race 2.
Race 2, yeah.
Yes. Do you like this 100% reverse race grid, or obviously you benefited from it, but
it's brilliant. I love it. I mean, we've been playing around with it through the club events to see whether it was good, and it really leaves the championship wide open. It means anyone, if you come last in the first race, you can win the second because you're starting pole, and all you've got to do is drive defensively. So it just really opens it up.
Peter almost did that, but was overtaken by Van Oven. I think it's definitely a good thing for the retired drivers because we had Devery in there who unfortunately blew up on the last lap. I mean, there's massive sadness there, but you do have those retired drivers who get a second chance almost. You know, it's absolutely brilliant. And yes, Nuno Pinero, we were talking to you.
Okay.
Basically, I was saying, you know, brilliant drives in both races. You got P3 in race 1, broke into the top 10 once again in race 2 from starting P37. Are you confident going into the next round, considering that you have such brilliant pace?
I don't know. I think so. I'm just, trying to get used to these cars because it's been a while since I've, sim raced. I had some health problems, but it's getting better. So I got back into sim racing and, just went to see what the next round brings us.
I'm amazed. There's so many people like, yeah, this is my first time sim racing. Yeah, this is my first time in like months, and then such fantastic drives. How are you so good? How are you so good? You need to teach me.
I don't think you got me. I mean, it's not my first time. I've been around since 2004 or something like that. I just haven't raced in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting back into it. I started about like a month ago, maybe again, after about a year and a half.
Oh, well, there we go. So you have been racing for a month then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, so I think let's go for a quick forum question. During the races, we saw some absolutely fantastic saves. I mean, we were all going, oh no, because we thought they were going to spin, and yet the cars just seemed to snap back right into place. What's the general overall feeling of how the cars handle? Are they easy to handle? Is it difficult to rein them back in, or is it just a case of luck almost trying to reel them back in?
Yeah, they're really easy to bring back. I mean, if you start, because of the front wheel drive, you start going a bit sideways, you just keep the power down and the front end just brings it back. So it can look dramatic, but it's as long as you just keep the power down, the front end will start, the back end will follow the front end.
So there you
just
go.
don't put back in the grass like I did in race.
Yeah.
Because that won't work.
And on that bombshell, I think that we shall end it there. We shall get some more driver interviews with you next week, which is at Curitiba Circuit. It's not. It's called Curitiba.
2 weeks time.
2 weeks
fortnight.
time. My apologies. So there we go. 2 weeks. We are in Curitiba. A massive thank you to all the guys for some brilliant racing. A massive thank you to my commentator Liam Jenkins. Thank you, Liam.
Yeah, my pleasure as always to be here, and thank you for doing a good job, James.
Oh, well, thank you very much, good sir. And thank you to our fantastic audience tonight. I hope you enjoyed the action. And join us again in 2 weeks for the RDMCC. Goodbye for now.
Oh, well, there we have it, fellas. Happy evening.
I'm surprised no one asked me for minutes.
Uncle Kirk, how did you do